knowing what to do was the only requirement to change something in your life so that you could get a different result, to change something in your business so you could get the success you wanted, then all of us would have profitable, sustainable, thriving businesses. Hi, I'm Sarah Greener from the Moxie Movement. Welcome back to another episode. Super excited to be diving in to why knowing how just isn't enough. It's something that we often get caught up in. Some of this is out of our societal conditioning that when we go to school and we learn something, if we know it well enough and we get tested on it, we get a good result at the end. You get an A, you get 90%, whatever the result is that you're looking for. In my world and what I do, people are often looking for the action that they need to take to get the result that they want. And that's awesome. The challenge being is that the actions, what you need to do, the tactical piece, is only ever 20% of what needs to happen for you to make the change consistently and get the result. The other 80% is your mindset. The other 80% is the internal stuff that goes on before you take action. And the reason that we know that this is true is because otherwise in 2024, you could jump on the internet, find the answer to what action should I be taking and get the result. Magic. Not only would you learn the action to take, you would just consistently take it and get the result. And yet we are not all out here walking around with multi-million-dollar wealth, six-pack, perfect relationships and businesses that are doing exactly what we want when we want it. If all you needed to know was how to be better at managing your time, just the tactical piece of it, you should plan your week in advance and you should time block your time and you should do that in alignment with what you're trying to achieve. And there's a million things. Put on a focus finder, get an accountability buddy. There is so many tactical answers to get you the result that you want. I want to have my time back from my business. I want to have more time with the people I love. Like the results that you want, there are some really clear actions out there and you can get access to it anywhere in 2024. And yet you still don't do it. The reason that we get so caught up in this loop of not taking the right action is more complex than just knowing what to do. And people will say, oh, I self-sabotage or I fall off the wagon. They say all these things. And all of them could be true. The way that we talk about it in the Moxie movement, though, is that we've got out of alignment. When we have alignment between our mindset, which is made up of our underlying beliefs and stories and values, the way that we think about things and the way that we feel about things, and the results that we want, once we have that 80% lined up, then putting in the 20% of here's the action you need to take becomes really easy. Not only that, it becomes easier to take it on a consistent basis. And that's why when we're building out any sort of process, any sort of template, any sort of tool that we can install into your business, we want to make sure that we're thinking about, yes, the tactical bit. I want that to be as simple and easy for you to apply to your business as possible. Like, I don't want it to be a 300-step process when it could just be 3. And as human beings, particularly smart human beings, and I'm guessing you're a woman, you're in business, you're probably pretty clever, we have this innate ability to make simple things complex, because if it was that simple, everybody could do it. So because we're smart, we often make things that should be simple much harder than they need to be. But I certainly have done it plenty of times. One of the first things that we're thinking about, how we're building these frameworks to make a variety of different businesses operate in a really structured way that's sustainable for the business owner so that they can get the freedom that they wanted while not letting go of control. We have to think carefully about how we can make that simple. And yes, there is a lot of thought that goes into that. More so though, the thought has to go into what are the underlying themes and reasons that are keeping people stuck from moving forward. We want to use a whole variety of tools. On this journey, I'm using conscious reprogramming, we use subconscious tools so that we can start to think about how do we make sure that not just the conscious part of your brain, so again, depending on which neuroscientist or neuro study that you've followed, it's somewhere between kind of 5 to 10% is that very conscious, we're aware of brain, and unconscious or subconscious is somewhere between the 90 to 95% of our brain. We want to make sure that we're using all of it. We want to make sure that we are taking advantage of all the things that we can to get your mindset. Because if we don't make sure that your mindset is aligned with the result, that you won't consistently take the action. The other thing that we know is that this mindset that you have today is being cultivated, has been conditioned over years and years. And depending on how old you are, if you're as old as me, it's been conditioned over more than 40 years. It's not just going to be we flick a switch and go from being this mindset to that mindset, that. It's going to take some time. Just if, and speak about it, weight's an easy one to talk about. I am by no means an expert, but if we think about it this way, if it takes me 10 years to put on 20 kilos, the expectation that I'll lose those 20 kilos in 10 weeks is unrealistic. And it's the same with our mindset. It's taken a lot of years to get the current conditioning, the current well-run pathways in your brain in place. And we know we can rewrite those pathways. We know we have neuroplasticity in our brain, but it isn't going to be a fast process. If that pathway has been created over the last decade, it's going to take a little bit of time to rewrite that over time. I love that you are learning more stuff all the time and looking for new knowledge and new tactics and new understandings of the actions that you can take in your business. And I want you to know that's only 20% of what it takes to get the results you're looking for. And it doesn't matter who you work with, you are going to need more than just an understanding of the tactical piece that you need to go and do. There's a couple of different ways to go about that. There's one, you can invest in a specialist mindset coach that is helping you consistently realign your mindset with whatever goals, whatever results you're looking to achieve. Or secondly, when you pick the things that you're learning, you want to find providers that understand that it's not enough just to know what to do. You actually have to do the underlying work that aligns who you are, who you believe you are, what you believe about the world, what you believe about your business with the results that you want in business. Don't beat yourself up if I know I should be doing all these things in business. I know I should be budgeting, and I know I should be calling my leads back, and I know there's a freaking list of things we know we should be doing, because until you address the underlying mindset, the underlying beliefs and consistent thoughts and feelings you have about those things, you'll never take consistent action. That's not because you're trying to self-sabotage yourself. It's the absolute opposite, actually. It's actually your brain doing its best to keep you safe. And know that you're not alone, that everybody goes through that journey, and that it's a constantly evolving journey, that you are constantly leveling up the way that you think about things, the way that you feel about things, the things that you have to believe in order to get to the next level. And it's a journey, and it's an evolution, and that you'll need both. You'll need the 20%, you'll need the tactics, the concepts, the ideas, the strategic planning, the thing that you need to do, the action you need to take, and you're also going to need the underlying work around how do I need to think about these things? What do I need to believe to be true in order for it to come true? Because whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're absolutely correct. And whatever you choose to do, including building this business, and you are doing a great job. It's not enough just to know the knowledge. There is other things we have to work on as well. And the cool thing is there's so much access to support now that allows you to shift and change and move your underlying identity that will allow you to get to the results that you are. The conversations that are now being had in pretty much every business room that I go into around the fact that we have to step into an identity of a business owner to be the next level business owner before we can do the right actions consistently that will ensure that we have the results. And there's so many cool models out there we do have that can help you understand that, yes, understanding what to do is important, and leveling up your mindset to be in alignment with the results you want is going to be the game changer for you. Both are needed, and you can do it. Simple things day by day that enable you. Part of that is finding a community, finding an environment, listening to the right people, immersing yourself in people that are doing the work, that are normalizing the results that you want. Because if you want to run a business, if you want to have a family that everybody shares the second shift at home, you want to have a relationship where you co-parent, where you both take responsibility for raising these children into awesome little humans that can go out and thrive in this society, and you want to have a business that makes an impact and is sustainable and profitable, you can do those things. Just make sure you put yourself in spaces where other people are wanting those things too, and spaces where other people have already achieved those things, so that you are leveling up the underlying mindset, the belief, the thoughts, and the feelings. Because that way, we all get to become the glorious exceptions to those terrible statistics ourselves, so that we can have that six-figure success and the weekends off and the holidays, as well as have a business that thrives. What is something that you need to go away and change your mindset on because you know what to do, you just aren't doing it consistently? Let us know. We'd love to hear what you're working on right now. Until next time, stay Moxie.